What's going on, Facebook? I'm just going to get straight to the chase. I'm just want to discuss some sports and some of the games that's coming up. Maybe you can give me some feedback on what you think. I'm going to tell you what I think, and we're going to rock and roll from there. Just, fantasy football for those. I'm just trying to help out those with my expertise. I got a lot of homeboys that call me because they know I do a lot of reading on the games and stuff, so we're going to get right into it. We got Tennessee against the New York Giants. Tennessee, Vince Young ain't looking good. Not really looking good right now. Got replaced by Kerry Collins, and he ain't looking good. Kerry Collins looking like he's actually about 45 or something playing quarterback. Just not getting it done. The New York Giants, on the other hand, I saw the offense the other night. Didn't look good at all. Didn't look good at Eli. Didn't look like he had a real control of the offense. It didn't really have a real flow. Didn't have a running game. The receivers didn't really do anything. But the simple fact is they don't have any receivers. I think they got Steve Smith and Hakeem Nicks on the other side, which he's still an unproven commodity, not doing anything. I still pick the Giants at home to win. They are at home. They're coming off a loss, so they're in the Meadowlands, so I expect them to do something. So we're going to move on to Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 2-0, so is Pittsburgh, but Tampa Bay is a weak 2-0. I like Josh Freeman. I like some of the things he's doing in Tampa, the young receivers. But at the same time, I'm not thinking they're ready for Pittsburgh. Not at this moment. They just don't seem as though they're ready for a veteran-type club. Like I think they beat Seattle or they beat Cleveland, but they didn't beat anybody of any significance. So we're going to roll with Pittsburgh. Even though Tampa Bay is at home, I am a Florida native. I do wish Tampa Bay the best, but if I had to put my money down, I'm rolling with Pittsburgh. We got Cincinnati at Carolina. We're starting the Jimmy Clausen era is not ready to get started. Rookie quarterback out of Notre Dame. Didn't show me much in Notre Dame. I thought he was a mediocre quarterback, but they hype up Notre Dame quarterbacks because of Joe Montana, as though if you come through the Notre Dame program, you have a chance of becoming Joe Montana, which there hasn't been any. The last guy they thought was going to be somebody was really Rick Meyer, and they thought because he looked like Joe Montana, they thought he was going to be Joe Montana. Then they had Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn, I think, is the third-string quarterback behind Tim Tebow, so we can see where the Notre Dame quarterbacks are going. But Carolina definitely not going to beat Cincinnati. I don't care if they have Joe Montana on their team. They're not going to win. Cincinnati, I'm going with Ocho Cinco, Terrell Owens, Carson Palmer, Cedric Benson playing running back. Winning combination right there. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to Cleveland at Baltimore. I think Colt McCoy should start at quarterback. They might as well start the Colt McCoy era. They're ready for that. I really believe that Jake Delhomme is not the answer. He would be probably a good backup quarterback, somebody to hold the clipboard, tell the young quarterback what he needs to do. But Jake Delhomme's not the answer. And then looking at the defense on the Ravens, as you know, Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs can win a game definitely alone with the defense that they have. I'm not convinced with Joe Flacco. Just not slow release. He's a big guy. He went to Delaware State. He went to Delaware State, so he played quarterback for them. Anybody heard of Joe Flacco before he got in the league? I think they like him, big, strong quarterback. He's about 6'5", 6'6", somewhere around in there. But not impressed. We're going to move on. We had Dallas at Houston. Tight game for Dallas. It's more like a Super Bowl game. They're saying that Dallas is probably not even going to make the playoffs of where they're playing right now. I expect Dallas to come out fighting. I'm sure Jerry probably went in there and told them, your job's on the line. Everybody's job, including coaching staff. They were talking about making Jason Garrett the offensive coordinator, head coach, but I don't see how that's possible considering Jason Garrett is the one who's calling the plays. So, really, if anybody should get fired, it should be Jason Garrett with them whack-ass plays. But they're playing Houston. Houston's playing at a high level right now. Just don't see them beating the Cowboys. Even though they're at home, Cowboys going to come out fighting this Sunday. And this may be the Sunday that they actually pick the Cowboys to win a game because, here again, I'm expecting them to do big things. Okay, we're going to move on to San Francisco and Kansas City. Kansas City is undefeated and playing very good ball. But I still like Mike Singletary and the boys from out on the Bay. I'm feeling the boys. I saw them how they play. They make a lot of little mistakes. But if they can get them mistakes under control, top-notch, quality team there. I think that Mike has got the right attitude with them. I don't think they can take a laid-back coach right now. A laid-back type of coach, they probably just, they're making mistakes with a guy who's on fire as a coach, and right now he's getting them to understand what it means to be a champion. The fact that he has a Super Bowl ring with the 85 Bears, played on one of the best defenses that ever played in the NFL, you can't go against that man. Not in the locker room. And right now he has them playing at a high level. They should have beat New Orleans. You heard me? You hear me out there? They should have beat New Orleans. They beat themselves. New Orleans didn't beat them. They beat themselves. But we're going to go with San Francisco over Kansas City at home. Move on to the next one. Detroit at Minnesota. I know Brett Favre and them struggling, but I think that this week, I think that they can pull it out. I think that they have what it takes to beat Detroit. Detroit hasn't beaten anyone as well, and they're doing a lot better. They're playing a lot better brand of football. I saw a couple of games and then got a chance to go over some film and watch a few highlights, and they're definitely headed in the right direction. I don't think they're just not ready to beat Minnesota. And considering that Minnesota's back is against the wall, I expect Brett Favre to throw over 300 yards and Adrian Peterson to do his thing. That's just with no receivers. You remember that. This is not the same team from last year that Brett Favre is playing with. So I expect Brett Favre to do the Brett Favre, at least tomorrow. This weekend with this game coming up. And then next we got New England at Buffalo. New England's going to kick Buffalo. I don't really think I have to go into much about Buffalo for the simple fact that they've replaced Trent Edwards, who is garbage. The guy they're replacing him with is garbage. So I don't see much of a chance of them beating New England, considering they're coming off a loss and they should be fired up. That's New England is. Randy Moss is going to do his thing, and we're going to go with New England. I would put my money in New England. That's just me. We're going to move on. Atlanta and New Orleans. That's going to be a good game around here. I'm going to go with New Orleans at home. Atlanta is looking better, but I think Drew Brees and company. Now, they definitely going to miss Reggie Bush, and if it's a time, I think, to get him, now is the time, because now they have to adjust and try to play teams without actually seeing how they perform without Reggie Bush in the lineup. So we're going to go with New Orleans. Next game, Washington at St. Louis. I'm going to go with Donovan McNabb and the Redskins over St. Louis and the rookie quarterback. For the simple fact is, he's a rookie quarterback. And for the most part, the Redskins are playing better football than they did last year. They got a quality quarterback. Jason Campbell is gone. So the Redskins guy can be thankful for that. And I think Donovan's got him going in the right direction. We got Philadelphia at Jacksonville. Mike Vick time. I don't know who would want to bet against Mike Vick in this game. I'm just going to go with Mike Vick, my gut feeling. I'm not convinced with David Garrard. Never been impressed with him. I'm excited that we got an Afro-American quarterback playing, but for the most part, I've never been impressed with Buddy. He hasn't showed me anything. So we're going to go with Philly over Jacksonville. We got Oakland over Arizona. I think Jason Campbell got replaced by the punter. No disrespect to Bruce. I can't even pronounce his last name, but Bruce is his first name. He's going to be starting quarterback for Oakland this game. And who is this guy? They brought in Jason Campbell to take Jamarcus Russell's job, and it just never panned out like that. He did take Jamarcus Russell's job, but he sucks. So, the NFL is doing a lot better with putting a lot of black quarterbacks in place. The problem is a lot of garbage ones. We need quality, not quantity. So we're going to go with Arizona. And even though I'm not impressed with Derek Anderson, I don't know what Matt Leinart must have done. He must have gave the coach the middle finger or something. But if so, whatever the reason is, can't really understand it. Don't really care. But Derek Anderson is definitely not the answer. But I am going to pick Arizona over Oakland. We got San Diego over Seattle. I'm not going to bet against Phillip Rivers, the gambler, the quarterback for San Diego. He's one of the best in the league. He's an elite quarterback. The man's been on fire since he left North Carolina State and really replaced Drew Brees at quarterback. I'm not going to say replace Drew Brees. He kind of got the job because Drew Brees was injured. And, anytime a quarterback injures his throwing shoulder, it's a chance that he's not going to ever come back and be the same player. So you see, that wasn't true. It didn't happen.